And so it's the middle of May, mucky, everybody's getting towed. My vehicle's getting towed by Leopard 2.
Right.
It's a bit of a quagmire. It's a shit show.
Right.
And I hear a little crump ahead. It's the first time I heard an explosive with ear pro, like noise canceling ear pro.
Right.
Because I had the vehicle ear pro on.
Right.
Before that, it's always foamies or whatever. I'd never heard it. So it cancels the noise out and I hear a little crump. And then I look behind me and there's like the turret and the Leopard 2 right behind me. It's unseated.
Oh boy.
And I'm just like, I'm pissed off because I'm like, why did they stop?
Right.
Man, the driver got both his legs blown off.
Wow.
This video is brought to you by Ice Warrior Tactical, Carcajou Tactical, and Grey Fox Strategic. For 10% off your next purchase with Grey Fox Strategic or Carcajou Tactical, use code DA10.
All right, viewers, thanks for tuning in. Listeners, thanks for tuning in. It's Randy with Direct Action, another segment of the podcast. We got a great guest here today, a buddy of mine. I've known him for quite some time, Justin McPherson, former Canadian Armed Forces member. He spent some time with the Canadian Special Operations Regiment. He also spent some time with Joint Task Force 2. He is a wealth of knowledge, a genuine human being, and he's a badass warrior. Justin, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you, pal. And for those folks that may be wondering what's in the glass, we're going to share a seasonable toast here together with a little bit of Writer's Tears, which, full transparency, is one of my favorite bottles.
It's pretty good.
All right, Justin, man, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you taking the time. Let's dive in a little bit. Tell us, tell the viewers and the listeners a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up, and what was your upbringing like?
Right. I'm the quintessential farm boy, I guess, if you could, divide our demographic into certain types of people. Yeah, we're all hard tickets. We all come from hard backgrounds, whether it's like the hard urban kid or the hard rural kid. I'm definitely one of the harder rural kids.
Right on.
Yeah, so I grew up on a potato farm at PEI, of course. It was, but we didn't always farm potatoes. We had a mixed farm. We had pigs, cattle, all kinds of things.
Right.
My old man, he worked a bunch of other jobs just to keep the family farm going.
Yep.
One of the hardest humans I've met, even within all the people that you and I know, still. Like, right? My dad is like one of the hardest tickets I've ever met. And,
is he still with us?
He's still with us. And he's, you can't kill that man. You'll find him slumped over a tractor one of these days, but until then.
Is he still in PEI?
He's still in PEI.
And what part of PEI? Whereabouts?
Geographically, like the center. We're just about 10 minutes outside of Hunter River. Okay. The little town of North Wilshire. Okay. There's no hobbits there. No. There's no no fairy tales either. Right. But yeah, just beautiful PEI, rolling hills, and lots of farmland, and lots of rural people. For folks that have not been to Prince Edward Island, put it on your list of things to do. Great, beautiful spot. Good family getaway, or even just as a single dude, just want to explore. Man, there's beautiful women in Prince Edward Island, lots of fun things to do, so go check it out for sure. My only recommendation for that is just don't go in the winter, only in the summer. Yeah, good top up point. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Kantsoff has a proportionally larger number of islanders than I would say other people. Like, obviously, I know basically all of them. Yeah. There's 170,000 people on PEI, and like maybe 10 guys are from PEI. Yeah, and it's seriously, it's because of the winter. Yeah. Like the winter sucks on PEI. It's hard. It is harsh. So you grew up farming. So what does that look like as a teenager, helping out your dad, helping out around the farm? So you go to school, you come home, you're working chores, is it chores in the morning, or what does it look like? Right. Yeah. The battle rhythm, to use a military term. I mean, I'm probably one of the last people to actually get pulled out of school to pick rocks. Okay. Is that right? Yeah. In the spring, I would definitely spend at least a day or two at a school helping plant potatoes or do whatever it is. And in the fall, same thing with harvesting. Yeah. And, I think my earliest memory of driving a tractor, like I'm legit 6 years old, and my dad set me on the tractor and in the lowest gear possible, and sent me on my way up the road. It's like this old dirt road, and he just tells me, when you get to the top of the hill, just turn the throttle all the way off, because my feet couldn't touch the pedals, obviously, And like, that's it, man. That's like my first,
wow.
first experience, driving heavy equipment, essentially.
6 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. The somebody definitely called my mother that passed me on the road. Yeah.
Something's not right about this picture.
Yeah. My feet are dangling off the seat.
And did you have younger brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I got a younger sister. She's still back home in the island, and my brother's here in Ottawa, actually.
Oh, really?
He's 3 years older than me, and yeah, we get to see him often enough.
Cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's awesome. Yeah. He's got a family of his own. So are you an uncle as well?
Yeah. So he's got one daughter, and he's got he had that girl, Kennedy, my niece, when he was young, 18. So she's basically an adult now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so that's interesting watching, somebody that's kind of like in the middle of the whole demographic to, coming up and watching her. I didn't get to see her very often, but yeah, when I did see her, it was, I'm always trying to influence the younger generation as best I can. So yeah.
Good stuff, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think she stayed with us for a couple days. Immediately I'm like, hey, you want to cut the grass? Like, you want to chop wood? Like, what do you do? Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. And how about yourself? You have kids? What's your situation at home?
Yeah, so I got 2 6-year-old twin boys, Finley and Gareth, and they're incredible boys.
Yeah.
Raising children is the meaning of life.
Good for man. Good for you. Good for you. And when you and Steph, your wife, when you guys were talking about having kids, because you guys have been together for quite some time now?
Yeah, we've been together since 2010.
Right. So you were active in the military and super active at that time.
Yeah.
When did you guys start having conversations about having kids and trying to find the right time, which is usually the challenge? Yeah.
I think you and I were actually working together in shooting package, and I brought this up to you where, like, number one, like, I just was never home enough to make it work. There's something about having children. You have to have intercourse for that to work, I think.
I remember that conversation. Yeah.
And then, even at that time, there was some indications of like some environmental issues, like the boys weren't swimming straight, not doing the right things. And so, there was a bit of a saga, really, to actually get.
If you want, let's talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk a lot about military and what led you into the military, but let's talk about that one since it's fresh out the gate. I do remember that. I remember that vividly. You and I were teaching on the shooting package down south, and there was some struggles and some friction points with you and your missus trying to procreate. Walk us through a little bit about those pressures and that struggle.
Yeah. So, well, first off, it's like, you just finished SOAC. SOAC, like, man, that's a 1.5 year, 2-year recovery fully. And then you immediately want to pick up with life where you left it. And it was the right time for my wife and I to start thinking about kids. I was 32 and she was 28, 29. So it's the right time. She's a professional. I'm a professional soldier, eating lead almost every day, getting kicked in the head, like not resting, adrenal gland fatigue, all the rest of it. And, there's some evolutionary thought around that, if you're in super stressed out, fight or flight all the time, then you're really not going to have a time or opportunity to procreate. That might be just the way of the world, back in the caveman days, if you were getting chased around by lions all the time, it's probably not a great time to have kids.
Right.
Anecdotally, that's kind of what I think. When the testing comes out, it's kind of a bit of a up in the air of like, who is it, the female side or the male side?
Right.
And it is definitely mostly on my side, where just not healthy enough to create like viable swimmers.
Right.
And it comes out in the end where it's an environmental factor.
Right.
And in our line of work, it could be fucking anything.
Yeah.
It could be the lead, it could be the head injury, it could be whatever it is.
Yeah.
As a combat engineer, you're handling C4 all the time, handling explosives all the time. Like, you don't know what the long-term effects of that stuff is.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll come back to that because I find this a fascinating aspect. I have a couple of really good friends that are going through a similar struggle right now, and they're trying everything.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that, but let's walk the dog a little bit. When you left PEI and you joined the Canadian Forces, what did that route look like? What was your path?
Yeah, well, it basically looked like I got bored of most things and moved on pretty quick. So the reason why I joined the military was I just couldn't find anything else that I was legitimately interested in. I was in the co-op program in high school. Not a good student. That's probably a common theme among a lot of us. I just can't sit still long enough or to learn said skill.
Which is interesting because I've known you for quite some time. You're hyper intelligent.
Thank you.
Very intelligent. Academically, something in school, it wasn't,
it's not interesting.
Right.
Not interesting.
Right. So does that make a person, less intelligent? No, it just makes them, frictionist towards education.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I remember he was in the main psychologist of SOCOM at the time, but I think he was retired, and the Hill had him up and had a family day and had the spouses in, and I could just recall him like literally jumping up and down on his feet, saying, "Education does not mean intelligence." Yes. He's like, "Let me see that again."
Yeah, that's right.
Most of our wives are incredibly educated. My wife's got 2 degrees. She's got she's grade 10 pianist, grade 10 violinist. Like she's incredible. Like you could put a 8.5 by 11 papers all over this wall of all those things, and for me, they're just BMQ.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, basic leadership qual.
Yeah, BMQ.
Yeah.
But anyway, so on Prince Edward Island, in high school, like not a great student, so I'm looking for what's viable, and I'm realizing that I enjoy outdoors. I enjoy working with my hands. I enjoy being physical. There's nothing more than, if you work all day and you're watching the sunset, it's like, okay, I did something right today.
Right on.
It just feels good. So I went in a co-op program, into welding, small engines, a bunch of this stuff. And I was just finding myself super bored with it. Joined the Prince Edward Island Regiment. Shout out. went down that rabbit hole for a couple of years. Went full time in 2006 and spent 7 months or 7 or 8 months in the oil field doing that gig.
Oh wow!
For a little bit.
Yeah.
And after 63 days straight of working on a rig, I decided that I would go home.
Okay.
Yeah.
63 days straight.
Yeah, it was the longest stint there. Yeah.
So you're in the reserves, PEI, and then how did that happen? How did you get an opportunity to go work in the oil field?
I went on to the sub-reserve.
Okay. So, all right. So walk us through that, because that's pretty cool. I mean, you get an opportunity to work in the oil fields. That's unique.
Yeah. I always called that work, it was like manual labor with a purpose. Like you're pulling the dragons from the ground. You know what I mean? Like you're doing something for somebody. You're keeping the lights on somewhere. You're putting gas in people's car.
Yeah.
You can kind of see that strategic, big hands effect. Like it's
a big effect. Yeah.
A big effect. And it was fucking dangerous too. And I enjoyed that. Everything you did there was high risk and high reward. So, my first paycheck coming out of that place, 18 years old, after 2 weeks, it was like $3,500 clear. I was like, man, that feels pretty good. Yep. And then like, what was it? 10 months later, I'm on PAP platoon in Gagetown, and my first paycheck was $600.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at this point, are you contemplating your decision, thinking maybe you should stay with the oil field for a bit? No,
not at all. No.
Okay, cool.
When I left the rigs, I was like, you could see the writing on the wall. The people get so burnt out and so messed up from working so many hours. Like, my driller is snorting cocaine off the work order book on the way to work.
What?
On the way there. What? And it's like, if you want to have fun in an oil rig and $1.5 million piece of kit with like giant snatch blocks that are traveling at like 30 kilometers an hour up and down, like do some cocaine, man. That's going to make it a lot of fun. But 4 hours later, man, that guy comes down.
Wow.
And like when you're standing there and you're again running another piece of heavy equipment, hydraulically ran pipe wrenches, essentially, tongs, and like, he's screaming at me in the side of my head. It's like, yo, man, like, I got to get out of this place. Like, I got to go.
Okay.
You know, I'm at like 55 days at that point, and I'm like, oh man, like the writing's on the wall. Like, do I want to end up like this guy?
Wow, that's risky.
Right. And I was already getting tired. I could see myself like, you know, I was like smoking dope, not getting any of the hard stuff. But I was smoking dope. I'd fall. I was so tired. I'd be like falling asleep in my work clothes. Like wake up and I'd still have like crude oil on my body and stuff, like not showering, not taking care of myself.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, all right, man, like this is
not good.
This is gonna go to a darker place than I was at currently.
Good for you. So you saw the light,
and
said, okay, enough. Yeah, good experience, but
yeah.
All right, so you move on from that. Now you component transfer to the Reg Force.
Yeah, component transfer to Combat Eng. I was a combat engineer. Did my 3s course in Gagetown in 2006.
Yep.
And then got posted to 1CR out in Edmonton.
Right on.
And I think the best story I could possibly come up with out of that whole experience is like our road trip out there.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I think there were 7 cars, all 18, 20-year-olds. Yeah. And we're going on a road trip across Canada.
Yeah.
And we're getting paid to do it.
Amazing.
Like, the military is posting us to Edmonton.
And all these folks that you're with, guys that you knew from...
Yeah, they're all my course, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We all bought like radios and stuff. We're
chatting with each other.
Yeah. There's like a Mazda Miata. There was an Acura Integra. There was like my own Honda Accord, man. It was like...
Yeah. Just the Rice Rockets just screaming down the highway. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
So you arrive in Edmonton and then walk us through, what does the combat engineer trade look like from your 3? So for folks that may be unfamiliar, when we talk about 3s, it's like your baseline understanding of that trade. So your trade qualification.
Right. So combat engineers are basically responsible for battlefields, mobility, counter mobility, and like protective works for troops.
Okay.
So in essence, they're like the combat Swiss Army knife. So if there's a problem on the battlefield, it's generally the combat engineer that's first being called.
Right.
To deal with either an obstacle or removing an ID or putting a bridge in or however you say it.
Very cool. Very cool. For guys that don't know, the engineers, from my exposure with engineers, they're awesome. Great dudes. So they're like infantry, but more intelligent.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's just sometimes. Yeah, you get the best picture going for it for sure. Yeah. So like deployed in Task Force 108, and still to this day, that first conventional roto is definitely my spiciest roto out of all the work, all the things we've ever done in SOF, and anybody in the unit that's done any of those conventional rotos from say like 2006 to 2011, say.
Oh yeah.
There's there's an unwritten respect there between those cats that
there sure is, man. Yeah. There was So 2006 was your first roto with the conventional forces?
2008. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's worthwhile mentioning for folks that are out there and still doing the deed. Man, thank you guys, because that era, for guys that are not aware, or for folks that are listening that are not aware, Canadians did a lot of good things, and a lot of those guys that were operating in the conventional forces, they got a lot of serious trigger time.
Yeah,
they got a lot of hard lessons.
Yeah,
and they deserve a mountain of gratitude and respect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's further to that, I mean, you take a look around our community, and then some of the numbers that were coming out of the lav gunners, hatches and stuff, like guys were coming back with 60, 100 Taliban kills. It's and I was going through my 3s when like Medusa was happening, and I just get posted into Edmonton, and we're watching those news clips that were the white school, those pretty hot firefights down in Panjway. Yeah. And we were shitting in our pants, I tell you what.
I bet. Yeah. Knowing what you're getting into.
When it's like, okay, man, like I can remember this is kind of a strange dream. A lot of guys would probably empathize with it though. And I remember it's like you're getting ready to go. And for me, I was like, you don't really understand what you're doing at the time. It's positive self-talk.
Yes.
Which is like super important in our world. We do that a lot.
Yes.
And I was doing a lot of that stuff at that time. It wasn't formulated. It wasn't, they didn't have a name for it.
Right. You didn't have the scientific theory to support what you were doing. You just knew that you were doing something to keep your head right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I actually remember I was having a dream. I was a C9 gunner. I had a dream where I like cleared a room by myself and I like killed the 5 guys in it. And I woke up and I was so happy. I was elated. I was incredibly happy. I was like, I got it.
Right on.
Okay,
man.
I'm ready.
Yeah, awesome. So you were having those thoughts and those dreams prior to deployment?
That's right.
Good stuff. So you're putting the positive side in the prefrontal portion of your cortex. Man, amazing. So talk us through what did the pre-deployment training look like prior to that first combat role for you?
Yes. Conventional pre-deployment. Oh man, it's like months and months.
It's a long time.
Yeah. So it was in Wainwright, and shit, I want to say we spent 3 months there.
I bet. I believe it.
So there was like a brigade exercise and then a culminating exercise for the actual deployment. And I think it was that long, 2 or 3 months. It's a long time ago. I can't really remember, but
long time.
Yeah, a ton of time. Whereas like now, like pre-deployment, it's what? Sometimes a week. Sometimes it's nothing at all.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah.
So we did, complex battle group attacks, everything from, section up to battle group.
Right on.
With combined arms, and we were running around with chainsaws, cutting open the hastily plywood walls, like the compounds and that.
Yeah.
And it's like we can't go up there with an 8-block satchel charge, which is what we carried in Afghanistan.
Right.
It'd blow the whole blow the whole compound up, it'd be gone. But we would like run up with chainsaws and stuff, and I can just remember it was like, the proper protective equipment had to be worn, and buddies running outside of the back of the lab with like orange chaps on, and I was just like, man, that's
not gonna happen.
Yeah,
that's not real.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. And during that training, given the context of the capability that the engineers would bring to the battle force, when it came to either exploring or based on feedback from the guys that were in Afghanistan at that time, did you guys do any kind of development or capability enhancement with the explosives that you may consider using at that time?
Yeah, I can remember making like 100 grain door charges out of just 50 grain. So we were calling them ribbon charges.
Okay.
And basically we were just putting like four lanes or 4 rows of 50 grain, 200 grain, and just like leaving one of them long. That was the pigtail. And I know a couple of like the older guys, like sergeants and warrants and stuff, like, okay, let me show you the British necktie, which is just like a glow stick, and you'd like notch the ends so that you could hastily, attach initiation sets to main charges.
Right.
So we're doing that quite a bit.
Cool.
Because we had no skin packs, no electric, nothing like that.
So what would you use for initiation sets?
So we were using a like 10-second time fuse.
Okay.
All the engineers were carrying a varying degree of smaller initiation sets, anything from like, I don't think anybody was going less than 10 seconds.
Okay.
So that thing is rolling around the back of your backpack for 4 or 5 months, and in Afghanistan, like it might burn slower, it might burn a little hotter.
Right.
So it's like, it's 10 seconds, it might be 5.
Right.
And
it's tough to tough to create the data that would be consistent.
Yeah, we did create it, and we did get it, but you didn't want to risk that, especially a gray putt charge was like an 8-block satchel charge.
Right. That's a big boom.
That's a huge charge.
Yeah.
And that was the stuff that was coming back. Like, we were hearing like, hey, I tried a 4, I tried a 6, nothing worked. I tried an 8, and that finally worked.
Okay.
And that blew a man-sized hole into a gray putt.
Okay.
Gray putt being like, what are the walls on a gray putt? Like 3 feet?
Yeah, 2 feet thick. Probably 3 feet in some cases. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I carried for the 8 months, 8 blocks satchel charge, knowing that I could, if I needed to administratively, I could take a couple blocks out of it and pip an RPG or I blew the tanks off a Leopard 2, which is pretty cool.
Okay, right on. All right.
Yeah, that was fun.
So so your training is long. You know, you're going through a lot of different sequences. You know, working with the infantry, and then you guys get deployed. Now you're in country.
Yeah.
And what does that look like for that first tour for you? Like, where were you stationed, and what kind of stuff were you guys doing pretty consistently?
Yeah, so my troop was in Frontenac, which is kind of north of Kandahar, and like I think north of Graceland. I never actually saw Graceland, but somebody would say like on a drive by, like, oh, it's over there.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, we're north of that,
right.
closer to the Argandab.
Right.
And 308 built a bunch of those cops. Built Frontenac, and they built a bunch of cops along the river system.
So cops, for folks that are not familiar, is a combat outpost. So it's kind of like it's a fortified structure where it may have embedded Canadian troops that are there for quite some time, or it might be a transient where they'll, formulate a plan, go smack a couple targets, come back, and then maybe go back to a more fortified FOB, which is a forward operating base. So that's what a cop is.
Yeah. Yeah. Tactical infrastructure.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first little bit was kind of slow for me. When we were busy, we would always get called to go down south into Panjway and do some like bigger op. Other than that, our routine was very much like FOB improvement. We were doing a lot of that.
Okay.
We had this like local guy named Haji Nick.
Yeah.
He was like the only guy that could speak English in their little collective, and that was like our labor pool. And they stayed on camp with us, and yeah, we basically we just filled HESCO for most of it. And yeah, so that's kind of like the worst part about being an engineer, is that you always have a day job, and your day job's usually like filling sandbags. Filling sandbags, or filling HESCO, or running heavy equipment, or doing FOB improvements of some sort.
Right.
But when we did get called down, it was usually for some larger op, and they were always hot. They were always pretty hot.
Yeah.
Like on one op, I observed 2 IEDs go off. One was about 50 meters behind me, and then 8 months later, I want to say like within 1,000 meters of that IED, one went off. Like again, right in front of me.
Wow. About
20 meters. And they're both like pretty wild stories.
Right.
The first one was just, it's conventional stupidity, for lack of a better term, because we have all this we got tanks, Badgers, we spend all this time and effort to breach into a village. And when we breach, we just like, the Badger rolls in and he churns up the first 6 inches or first 12 inches of soil.
Right.
And that's a really great way to displace IEDs or rip it apart before it goes off.
Right.
So it's, it's like an anti-mine kind of breach. So what do we do is it's the end of the day, and we're all tired and sore and sweaty and dehydrated and kind of fucked up. We take the same breach lane out.
Okay.
And so it's the middle of May, mucky. Everybody's getting towed. My vehicle's getting towed by Leopard 2. Right. It's a bit of a quagmire. It's a shit show.
Right.
And I hear a little crump ahead. It's the first time I heard an explosive with ear pro, like noise canceling ear pro.
Right.
Because I had the vehicle ear pro on.
Right.
Before that, it's always foamies or whatever. I'd never heard it. So it cancels the noise out, and I hear a little crump. And then I look behind me, and there's like the turret and the Leopard 2 right behind me. It's unseated.
Oh boy.
And I'm just like, I'm pissed off, because I'm like, why are they stopped?
Right.
Man, the driver got both his legs blown off.
Wow.
Like, just like that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, right on. We get out. We help clear that situation up. We check for secondaries and all that. And he gets evac'd, and then we got to tow this 70-ton deadhead back.
Right.
And it's all, the tracks have fallen off. It's all churned up, and half the vehicles are being towed anyway. Man, like 4 days later, we get out of there. Like, I don't think it was 4 days. It was like, honest to God, 3.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep a lot, pretty tired. But that tank itself,
right,
when it's getting towed out, it falls in this big ditch. This big, it was basically an irrigation canal.
Yeah.
And they towed it right into there.
Yeah.
So now it's on this like crazy
angle.
60-degree angle. Like it's straight up and down almost in there. And they've got 4 tanks attached.
Trying to pull it out.
Trying to pull this thing out.
Holy.
Well, it was three tanks.
Yeah.
And they try all night. And they can't get this damn thing out. And
what does that look like, Justin? So guys are working, their heads are down. They're trying to figure out the best course of action to get this thing out of this big ditch, knowing that Taliban and other shitheads are in close proximity.
Yeah.
So like, how did you guys kind of lock it down to provide odor security?
Well, I, like myself at the time, I kind of had limited knowledge of like the greater security. I definitely felt
exposed.
Oh yeah. Like super exposed. I didn't feel good whatsoever.
Yeah.
And we just kept our watch. You know, we still own the night.
Yeah.
You know, with thermals and all that stuff really helped. We still have 4 tanks.
Right.
So it's like, if something happens, it's going to be some sort of fuckery into the
Yeah. So man, like I'm just trying to like put my feet in those boots, like the pressure. Because how many hours did that go on before you finally got this thing recovered?
Right. Yeah. So it was like 3 days.
3 days.
The whole op was 3 days. We were 2 days trying to get this thing out.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sure hopefully I get these timings right, because it felt like 3 days. It was in 2008, right? It was a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. Yeah. It was a substantial amount of time.
It was a substantial amount of time. Yeah. I just remember, we're just sitting around doing our watch. You know, we got like basically in the daytime, it was like a two up and 6 down.
Right.
Plus the gunner just stayed on the gun.
Right.
They did eventually ask for engineers help, and that's when we went down and blew the tracks off it. And myself and Dozers, my 2SC at the time, were sitting there scratching our heads. What the fuck are we gonna do for this? And I'm like, well, I kind of feel like this track is just getting it hung up. Like it's just seems intuitive that if we got rid of this track, that maybe it would roll. And I'm like, we should just start cutting pieces off it until it comes out of the ditch.
Right.
And that's essentially what we did. I think it took us like 3 shots.
Wow.
To get all the pieces of track off. And then we got the track off, and like they hooked 2 tanks up to it and it came out.
So you guys use your own explosives to set it and, blow the tracks off and do any controls. So you're not trying to do any amount of substantial over damage, right?
That's right. No.
So it's all controlled.
Yeah.
Piece by piece, then you finally get this tank out of this ditch, and then what? So you drag it back to the COP or the closest forward operating base?
Man, past that, I have no idea what the hell we did. I think I fell asleep in the back of the lab.
3 days up.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, where like the overpressure just like erased my entire memory. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
But I if I recall right, we went back to Frontenac and we probably stopped in CAF to drop the dead head off.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right on. And how long was that first tour for you?
8 months.
8 months. Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Right on. And throughout that tour, like, lots of lessons learned. Looking back at it now, do you feel like the way that some things were tackled from a planning perspective, on the conventional side, excuse me, with the information that you know now and the knowledge that you have now, was there other ways that we could have kind of cracked that nut as a collective, or was it based on the information you had, the most optimal course of action in some cases?
Well, I've got my opinions on it strategically. I'll talk about operationally, I think.
Sure.
Like operationally, like we're just maybe a bit foolish when it comes to the use of intelligence and the way that we used armor and the way that we put the number of people and the amount of armor to force package to mitigate risk.
Gotcha.
So that, to me, doesn't really mitigate the risk.
Right.
The risk is IED. The risk is ambush. The risk is, shoot and scoot.
Right.
That sort of deal.
Right.
I don't believe that just throwing another platoon into the mix.
Right. That
being said, the situation had changed from 2006. So 2006, like a platoon would get wiped out by one situation or one scenario.
Right.
And so when that happens, it's like, well, commanders are going to key off of that. And now I'm thinking like, But the other part of that is like, maybe we should just spread out more.
Right.
Maybe we should put more time and space between us. And maybe we should have more machine guns for more firepower, because firefights are going to be segmented in smaller places. So if you've got a platoon over 1,000 meters and we've got twice as much firepower, then we can have those little tiny firefights in the middle of those bigger areas. Almost isolated firefights, and still have overwhelming fire. Still be able to win the firefight.
In that tour in 2008, what were you guys primarily mandated to do? Was it helping out the locals? Was it reinforcing some of the infrastructure that they were requesting to have built? Stuff like that?
I feel like 108 was a bit of maybe a transitional thing. I know that the main effort in 308 was to build the infrastructure, and basically one of our main mandates was to hold the infrastructure. And because that was the common problem, where you go and you clear an area. Well, we go put the Afghan flag up because, we're doing it on their behalf. Of course. And then we would leave, and then we'd just give it back. And then the Taliban would roll in and
say, thank you very much.
And, they would kill one local and do the mafioso flex. And then they're back in business again. And so I understand why it's so complex. It's incredibly complex. And this will lead me into my strategic thought on it. And the unfortunate reality of that whole situation is that you can't have your cake and eat it too. We can't use Western morality to try to influence that situation. I think, unfortunately, and I've thought about this a lot, it would almost have to be like a Roman kind of way to conduct business. So that's like, you either assimilate or you die. It's just like silver or lead. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of, and unfortunately, we tried there for 20 years and that did not work at all. Like trillions of dollars poured into that place for what?
I've had this.
Taliban are flying Blackhawks now. Like,
nobody saw that coming. That's for sure. I think I get this question asked me a fair bit. The people ask me, was it worth it? We spent 2 decades there. Was it worth it? I think yes, because for 2 decades we were presence enough that we allowed young kids to go to school. We did change in a positive way. I think influenced a bit of change for 2 decades. I think we needed a little bit more time. I think we needed probably another full decade to really see positive change. Because you're right, between what was going on in 2001, 2002 was very different than 2006, which was very different in 2008, and so on. Every 2 years there was a significant change in the way things were
and that
were unfolding.
When, I think in 100 years, when history looks, or people look back on the history of that conflict, they're probably going to give a couple upticks to the Taliban for their flexibility.
Agreed.
Because they were incredibly flexible, and we were always keying off of what they were going to do. Like they never keyed off of what we were doing.
Fair.
Minus, maybe 2006 when we dummied everybody with the 25 mic, but
very powerful weapon. Wow. Okay. So, all right. So, man, 8 months. So you come home from that tour, you've seen a lot and done a lot, and then what does it look like? So in transition, so you come back to Edmonton, you get a couple of months off or a month off to decompress and chill out.
Yeah, kind of. So I'd signed up to do the CSOR selection while I was overseas.
Oh, right on.
And by the time I got home, I changed my mind. I said I'm gonna do it in a year.
Okay.
Because again, I saw the kind of writing on the wall. I was like, holy fuck, that was pretty crazy.
Right.
Maybe I'll just let the dust settle. And I was pretty lucky. I got kind of thrown in RHQ, and I got left alone for most of that. Okay. And I ended up doing my dive course, which was pretty cool. My combat diver course is a very prestigious course in that world.
Did
my 5s. And then I did selection.
Okay. Yeah. Right on. So now this would have been 2010?
Yeah, 2009.
2009
for course.
Selection?
Yeah.
Okay. Right on. So walk us through, what did the training look like? You're getting prepared now for CSOR selection, and you've now had a year back in battalion, and you kind of getting your focus on CSOR. What does the preparation look for Justin?
Right. It was pretty wrong. Yeah. I didn't know much about how to train properly for something like that. I did the bodybuilding 2.0 kind of deal, where I did cardio once a day, and I went to I lifted weights. Okay. And when I say I lifted weights, it was like very much like I was doing a lot of shrugs and stuff, which is like obviously super beneficial for.
You need those. You need big traps.
Yeah. The boys are asking me like, "Hey man, you on the juice right now?" I'm like, no.
Just doing a lot of shrugs.
Yeah, just a ton of shrugs. Yeah. for the rucking, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Toughen up those traps. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. So I went into that selection like a 205. I should have been like 190.
Oh wow.
I was heavy. I was like as heavy as I am now. And yeah, I did selection. It was tough. It was hard. Yeah. Super hard. I don't know if you ever heard of the ammo carry.
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
That's notorious, man. That's a grind. Holy fuck. That was a good.
That'll break people mentally, probably more so than physically, but physically from what I hear, it's demand.
Oh yeah. And you know, it's funny, out of all the selections, so JTF2, CSOR, and Combat Diver was by far the most physical, the most.
Really?
Oh my God, man, it was terrible.
So I've heard stories about the right? There's a
prelim.
Right?
Yeah.
Prelim. Yeah, and I've heard it's a grind. So let's talk about that a little bit. So for the combat engineers out there, they'll appreciate this. The combat diver course, it's a grind, it's demanding. But what does the pre consist of? A lot of running, a lot of everything? What does it look like? So
take the meanest, toughest guys in your unit, put them in isolation, and they'll dream up the worst shit that they can dream up. Right. And it's like between all the units, it's a competition who can like make a tougher prelim. There's no end state to it. There's no strategic reason for it. It's just like we want the toughest guys and we want the best guys, and we're just going to run them as hard and as fast as we can.
So is there any cognitive challenge, or is it all just
yes? Yeah. So the days are basically broken up into, there's a PT session, like I think it's like a 2-hour PT session in the morning and in the evening. So there's 2, and then in the day you'll get classes. So like how to basically be a combat diver. Right. Most of them are just the classes you're going to get on dive course anyway. Right. And you do those, and then you try to remember them. Yeah. Fair. You try to do your dive tables. Yeah. Like after you've
been beasted physically.
Literally breathing out your butthole for like 2.5 hours. Right. Like it's bananas. Right. Yeah. CrossFit prepared me for that. Okay. Better than anything. Because like CrossFit is just like, do silly stuff until you want to die. Right. Yeah.
So it's a grind.
It's a grind, man. Yeah. Yeah.
And then fast forward. So that's, you already did one selection, and then now you're on CSOR selection.
Yeah, CSOR selection. And yeah, definitely more structure. I could really definitely see that, like, all right, there's some intellects here in the room. There's some rhyme and reason to this, Yep. And they're actually making tests or doing phobia tests. They're doing this, and there's phobia tests on Combat Diver too, but it's like, take all your stuff and go to the top of the dive board and jump off. Right. And if you can do it, you did it.
Right. So a little bit different. But, but they're still testing you.
Exactly. CSOR selection, it was the 7-day selection.
Right, because it changed a few times. It was 2 weeks, 10 days, 7 days. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the year before was 2.5 weeks or something. Like that, and then I'm not sure what it is now. I have no idea. But that was, the selection was good. Like when I finished that selection, I was like, I think this is the place I want to be.
Good for you. Yeah. Right on. So now you go back to Edmonton, you get your notice, you've been accepted, and now you're on course. What's course look like for CSOR?
So the courses at that time, 2009, it's very similar to the Hill program. Okay. And yeah, I know that's going to hurt some people for me to say that. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, there's a shooting package, there's a CQB phase, there's an OA phase, there's a green phase, and there's some nuances. The standard is definitely not as stringent, especially at that time. They're trying to get more guys. What else? And in some ways, like the green stuff, the OA stuff, the DA stuff, it was much better. Cool. Yeah, it was much better. It was much more. We're not. We know that you're safe. Now let's see what you can do with the battlefield. Gotcha. You just, think about flanking. You think about using the terrain. Think about fire maneuver. Yeah. think about setting up fire bases, like do all this.
Right.
Okay. If you're unsafe, then we'll talk about being unsafe, but that wasn't a thing, or like maybe there's a couple unsafe things, but not really.
Cool. So now you've completed your course and you're an SF operator, which is awesome. Now you get posted to Petawawa. And how long were you in Petawawa?
5 years.
5 years. Good for you.
Right I was there for 5 years. I think my first deployment there was to Libya.
Right on.
Yeah, and Libya was one of those jobs. Anything past Afghanistan, you're just like, I want to go back to Afghanistan.
Right.
I want to go back and I want to do FAC 1.
Yeah.
I want to fucking kill people in Afghanistan. That's what I want to do.
Yep.
Like specifically the Taliban.
Yes. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes. The bad guys.
The bad guys.
Yeah.
But when we got to Libya, it was my first exposure to diplomats and how they work and how that, DFATE and Global Affairs Canada and how an embassy works and how it looks.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's just an office in an office building in the middle of Tripoli. Yeah. And there's no security. There's one man named Mahmoud that was running the X-ray machine.
Right.
Yeah. He's a good guy. Great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big hands.
And in that time, what were your guys' job details? What were you responsible for?
It's a CP task, close protection task. And truthfully, like, I remember, like, I think Johnny Mack came down and gave us like CP 101 in an afternoon. Right. And like basically dictated it to us. Right. And we left the next day.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah. So didn't really have the proper training or the proper tools to do that. Right. However, in the end of the day, it's like we figured it out and it went good. Right on. It went fine. A couple of spicy moments where, like, we were in this super nice, like, touristy compound called Palm City. Okay. It's called Palm City. And the reason why we take that place or like rent that place because there's walls around it and there's really walls around nothing there. So we went there, and when Gaddafi fell, all the tribes come out to help oust Gaddafi. And so when they did that, they like occupy certain places, and because they occupied it, they're just like, well, this is mine now. So what happened with Palm City is that the managers, the owners, got it back from the people that had occupied it, and then they showed up a couple months later with a couple of dishkas and some guys. Oh shit! Like a posse to try to find the manager, the guy that ran the place. Right. So they actually get into the compound and they knock on this guy's apartment door, and he's not there. So we hear about it. They had to show force at the front gate. They shot up one of the buildings at the front gate, and so we go porcupine. We go guns up, guns out. We grab our dips, throw them in the basement of one of the condos, and we're held up in the corner of this compound until like the all clear is given. Oh shit. That was kind of it. I got like a ton of those, but I've never actually been in a real good scrap. Right. Yeah. Wow. But man, the thing that'll kill you there the most is just the driving. Driving was insane.
Is it because the way they drive? Is it erratic drive, or is it the terrain, or is it a combination?
It's a combination. So like the infrastructure there is not bad. They got good highways, but all the manhole covers are gone. What? Yeah, there's no manhole covers like anywhere. Because when they got rid of Gaddafi, they started looting. They took all the copper out of the sewers, and they stole everything. They like took everything they could, especially out of Gaddafi's compound. That place was like ransacked. Not a single thing left. Wow, destroyed. So yeah, like, just driving to work in the morning was a bit spicy. You would want soft operators or special forces operators like doing that. Yes. Just because of like you get in a chance contact with a local. Yeah. Then you're getting out of the car. Right. Good. Right.
Right on. So what did you guys do while you were there to prepare yourself for the inevitable, which was most likely going to happen? You guys have some strong team, TTPs, and you guys do some convoy drills, some bailout drills, stuff like that?
Yeah, most of that stuff was all done before we left. Yep. The training opportunities over there were like little to none. Okay. And the demeanor of the local population was like very pro-West. So we just got to get off you, right?
Right.
So there were like, as a gringo rolling around downtown Tripoli,
had some freedom.
You had a lot of freedom, and you were very much welcome.
Yeah, good.
Which is not normal for most of the places we go.
No, exactly. Yeah. Good. That was a good experience.
Yeah. And what I would say about it is the fact that at the time I was like, man, this sucks. I don't want to do this. I want to go do something else. Like I want to go gunfight somewhere. But when I look back at it now, I'm like, man, that was one of the coolest jobs I'd ever done.
That's
like,
good. Yeah.
Like the freedom that we had, we were going downtown. Gaddafi's brother got captured when we were there, and the whole city erupted into this crazy celebration. Like, it was nuts. They were shooting, and they all shot in the air a lot.
Yeah.
But during that day, man, it was bananas.
Really?
Everybody was shooting in the air. There was kids on tops of cars. I remember getting like stuck in traffic. Yeah. And the traffic is so close that like you could like reach out and touch a guy that's like in the car next to you. Yeah. And the guy pulls out a Desert Eagle and he's about to shoot it like right next to my head. Like right here. And I'm like, oh, and he misfires. He just didn't have a round in the chamber.
Holy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
No big deal. Desert Eagle just underneath my seat here.
Yeah. What do you do with that thing, man? Like,
wow. Holy. All right. So, man, that's wild. So how long were you guys there for?
4 months.
4 months. Good stuff. And then you come back from that deployment.
Yeah.
And then, what did the next couple of years look like for you?
What did I do after that? I did some courses. I did Allied Winter Officers, NATO. It was a winter course. Okay. Or like a Arctic
up north
operations course.
In north in Canada.
No, it was in Norway.
Oh, cool. How was it?
Yeah. The best people.
Yeah.
That operate in the winter, like for
they know their shit inside out.
Yeah. Born on skis. Most of those cats. So yeah, definitely learned a ton. Mostly just through osmosis and like how they do things and how calm, cool, collected they are in a winter environment.
Right.
They're not looking for the next latest and greatest piece of kit. They're not looking for this fleece thing or that thing or this thing. He's like, wool. Like, that's it. Wool. Are you cold? A little bit. Put some more wool on. That's it. That's like their solution for everything.
Right. So what makes them stand out? Why are they so good? Just they understand the elements. They understand the risks that are associated to elements.
They understand the elements. There's a big strategic reason for them to be good on skis is because they know if the Russian bear comes over the hill, that they're going to get rolled, and basically the resistance starts at that point. So a lot of this is historical based from like World War II, right? And the constant threat that Norway has, especially in the far north. And yeah, there's like a bit of a DMZ kind of situation that goes on there where it's just like a bunch of guard towers and they're staring at each other for most of the year. And it's minus 50, minus 40. It's so cold. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
What was the temperature like when you were there?
Varying from minus 5 to minus 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And how long were you guys there for that course?
I think it was 6 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 6-week course.
That's a good chunk.
Yeah. And it's like a week in and then the rest of it's out. Okay. Yeah. So it's it's like a patrol base kind of deal.
Right.
For part of it, you're in patrol base.
Right.
Doing your mill skills and your stands and all that.
Yep.
And then the last 5 or 7 days, you're actually on the move. But it's not tactical.
No?
Okay. Like it's a gentleman's course.
Okay.
So it's meant for only officers.
Oh.
And so sometimes there was like an ODA that was there.
Right.
And like I was the only CANSOF guy that was there. But
okay.
If you want like the experience that is some serious type 2 fun, it's like there's soft version of that.
Right.
And that's like your you go through all your mill skills, how to dress, how to conduct yourself in a winter environment.
Right.
And then you're jumping round shoot into the bush.
And then they're probably doing, live fire patrol with like an objective at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. The full gamut. Yeah. So full mission type of profile.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the way that they move, they're covering their tracks. They're putting false tracks in. They'll ski into a bush.
Yeah.
And then they'll turn back and go back up the same track.
Yeah.
And it's just like everything's a deception plan.
Right. So very slow, deliberate.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Right
yeah. It's very, and best in the world at it for sure.
Cool.
We think we're good at it, but like we just sweat all day and then we dry our shit out all night in the Arctic tent.
Right.
And that's, they really take the, if you sweat, you die thing very serious.
Right.
So they're actually considering thermal signature. They're actually considering all these things. Like in a real tactical scenario, they're just going to dig a hole in a snowbank and like get in it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Man, that'd be a great course to have.
It was good.
Yeah, very good. Cool. Good for you. Man, that's awesome. And then, so what motivated you to then want to try out for JTF2? How did that transition look for you?
Yeah. So they call me lastminute.com for this one. I was very much happy at CSOR. I was not that, overall I was happy. There were some things that were going on that I was like, okay, I'm not really sure about this. And it was mostly, and it had to do with the hierarchical difference between the two units. And maybe the personal reasons where it just boiled down to like, I want first chance at whatever alpha's coming up.
Right.
And that was the strategic reason to go.
Yeah.
Personally, it was like a bunch of my friends were trying out.
Right.
And I'm like, the last time I did this, I came to CSOR a year late, and now I'm not with my peer group.
Right.
Okay. So I saw it happening again, and I was like, "Wow, fuck it, I'm going."
Yeah, okay.
So I trained for a month. I was already training,
right,
but I was on a pretty good program. Now my program is sorted out at this point, in my life. I was on a pretty good strength conditioning program.
Yep.
Not repping it out, not hurting my shoulders, not like being silly.
Right.
Just getting strong,
right.
Stayed the same weight. And because of that, like it put me in a position of flexibility. If I needed to, I could train for a couple of weeks. And I did this in Kabul. I trained for a couple of weeks and I was able to run a half marathon.
Right on.
And then when I came back, when I was training for selection, like I was able to do, the mandatory exercises,
with ease.
To get you through that. And it put me in a position of flexibility, and that's all Kevin Sear, the coach conditioning specialist at a CSOR.
Right on, good stuff. So he's helping you out, getting you prepared with the time that you have. And why only a month? Was it just because of when you made that decision, or you didn't want to wait another year? Okay, gotcha.
Like the NOI deadline was like August 30th, and I applied on August 29th.
Okay.
Like I don't know who it was. I can't remember who the recruiter was at the time, but I called down to the recruiter. Hey, listen, like I'm going to be late on some of this stuff. My application's in, it's coming. Like what else do you need? What can I do? And I was able to scrounge it all up and get it done.
And at that time, Justin, was selection still in the fall, or did it push to the spring?
Yeah, it was in the fall.
It was in the fall.
Yeah. And it was quite hilarious because I got on the first selection.
Oh my goodness.
Of course.
So it was like flash, bang.
Flash, bang. But it was the wettest. It was just
just shit weather.
Just shit weather. Yeah. I was wet the whole time.
Yeah.
And this is the part where I paid. Like I was able to get through it, man. But like I didn't get the rucking in. I didn't get the running in. My feet were not conditioned.
Oh,
I was not conditioned for that sort of grind.
Right. So your feet
I made it through, but
I
paid a lot of lip service to socks.
Right.
It was the dumbest thing.
Right.
Socks.
Yeah.
First selection I did at CSOR, I like went and bought like those anatomically correct socks, left and right foot, like the blister proof socks, and they helped me quite a bit.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Made a huge difference.
Yeah.
JTF2 selection, I was like, fuck it. I brought the standard green army socks.
Right.
And I wore SWAT boots.
SWAT boots?
SWATs.
The whole time. They were wet the whole time.
The whole time.
So your feet were
fucked.
Hamburger.
Fucked.
Shit. Buddy, so you get through it. Now, what are you thinking? How did you feel at the end of the selection? You felt like you performed well? Do you feel like you were gonna get selected, or when you go back?
Yeah.
Now waiting for the note, waiting for the message. How were you feeling?
Yeah. So my mindset at the end of that was the best I got. Win or lose, that was the best I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
mentally, you're in a good spot because you're still happy where you are. It's not like you're leaving because you're unhappy.
Like, what am I going to go back and be a deck commander at CSOR? Oh, shucks.
Not so bad. Yeah.
Pretty good constellation prize.
Yeah.
The way that I looked at it was very much, win or lose, you got to booze. Like, like I'll be fine.
Right.
You know, like
yeah.
I've got one, and I said that all through course as well. So I got one crack at this whole thing. If I don't get it, I'm just going to go back. I'm not going to waste another, like a whole year. Right. So,
right.
Like it's not a waste, but
no,
for me, it would have been.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my mindset. And I think because of that, I performed a lot better. And I think that probably was the transition from me being like, probably like, I don't want to say mediocre, but middle of the pack operator / assaulter.
Yeah.
Was having performance on demand or performance anxiety issues where
right.
I didn't even diagnose it as an issue or a problem.
Right.
Where like when I get on the range, I'm getting too stressed and I'm pushing too hard and I'm trying too much.
Right.
And I'm tense. I'm too much tension. So I'm losing a lot of speed and accuracy.
Right.
And I'm just kind of, I'm in the black a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like, especially at CSOR where it's like these CQB environments are a bit farther apart.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't getting the repetitions that I needed to be able to feel comfortable.
Right.
And I think at the end of JTF2 selection is where I learned that like, hey, just because like I'm super amped up about something doesn't mean I'm going to perform better.
Right.
Right. And through that experience was the first time where I was like, I was a bit more laissez-faire about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think I performed better.
Good for you, man. Right on. And was there anything eye-opening when you were on either JTF2 selection or on the JTF2 course that was like completely different, or there were a lot of similarities, or did you feel comfortable with the material already? Or like how did you feel like comfort-wise?
So back in 2016, I was able to start working with Kydex, and the reason I wanted to start working with Kydex was because I was a left-handed shooter. Finding left-handed gear was extremely hard, so I just put 2 and 2 together, started working with Kydex, making left-handed holsters for myself. From there, quote-unquote, refined my process. Started making gear for buddies that were cops in military, and it literally snowballed from there.
Everything that we do is handmade by shooters for shooters, and there's a lot of other Kydex companies out there, and they are also for shooters by shooters. But we take the time and we care about what we do, and I think that shows in our products.
Like working here, this is our home. We brought it from home and we created a home. Our kids have worked here, so this is our home.
Aside from the obvious of what I like about them, they do keep your hands warm in the colder weather. So colder weather, I started using these last year when it was about -10. After an hour or 2 on the range with light shooting gloves, of course the fingers are going to get cold. So the inner glove, it has the dexterity required, so you can still do firearms manipulation, changing magazines, short note stoppages, which is good. And then for the moments where maybe we're standing around not doing a whole lot, or in between iterations on the range, for example, the outer glove adds another element to keep the hands warm when we're not requiring the dexterity. So the inner and the outer glove combination, just like anything, the more you use it, the more it gets worked in and it becomes a little bit more favorable to the hands. But for the little bit that I have used them so far, dexterity good, overall warmth really good.
So the difference is like drastic but subtle. The way that the the choreography kind of goes, I guess the best way to say it.
Yeah.
At the hill, it's better.
Okay.
Yeah, just the way that the machine works.
Right.
So you never really know what's happening. You never know what's going on. It's because like you're on that small little compound, everything's isolated, right?
Right.
Where like you're on this big army base at CSOR and you're getting trucked around.
Right.
Quite often. So yeah, you definitely, and then the attributes, like the actual stands,
right,
were the real deal. Like this,
that was the difference.
Yeah, that was the big difference. Where more gut checks at CSOR, and then there's more like, yeah, you get a gut check, but like, did you remember that thing? Did you do that thing? Did you, you know, did you notice that thing?
Okay, so more like
more cognitive, more
memory recall.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's interesting. And do you find, like, for an example, get taught something on Monday, day one, and then not see it again until Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
But I think you still get that. Still get that at CSOR, but it's not as hard assessed.
Yeah, it's different.
I think it's a little bit different.
Yeah. And do you think that's adequate given the fact that there's two different mandates, two different types of personalities that they're looking for?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. You'd have to ask Mark. You know better than I would, man. That was the biggest confusing thing for me at CSOR. It was like, this year you're the Arctic warfare specialist. Okay, so let's revector the whole unit, and now we're going to train Arctic stuff. So they send a guy to Norway, and he starts a program, and he starts this like new winter warfare program in Canada, and it's like, okay, great, cool. That all disappears in a year. It's just like it's shut off because the priorities change. So it's like, and I think that this is like the biggest problem for the two units.
Yes,
is that the fact that like, they're the special warfare SMEs right now.
Yep.
These are the arcs on special warfare.
Yeah, it's wide.
You can do whatever you want under that auspice. And so it's like, let's not duplicate our efforts. Like, who's doing what? Like, be a bit more explicit. And command is not doing that.
Yeah.
Like, in my experience there and at JTF2, like, command is not coming down and being like, stop stepping on each other's wieners.
Yeah.
And stay in your lane.
Yeah. Just
stop it.
Yeah. Just work on this. You guys focus on that. Yeah. I agree. And my experience with CSOR has always been positive, but I find it interesting how it's still a thing. It's still a thing. Like, it's still like, a bit of us and them, a little bit of like, well, we do that too. And it's like, man, we're all on the same page. Yeah. We're all on the same team. Yeah. Let's just be okay with the fact that you're going to do this and be really good at it. Just fucking own it, man. Like, tear the ass out of it. And you guys do this and just,
I remember that feeling when I was there, like, you want to be the decision maker. You want to be the pointy guy. You know what I mean? You want to be the big dick. You want to be that guy. And so it's like, my experience is like, kind of like, maybe there's a bit of griping on one roto with like holding blocking positions and stuff like that. And I was like, boys, you got a great spot. That's the best place to be, man. Like, you're on it. It's a great spot to be.
Yeah.
Like, I went a couple blocking positions, like by myself with like seven of my Jundy bros. And like, it's a great time, man. Like, did I want to go interior and do interior stuff? Of course. But like, that doesn't always happen. And let's be honest, like, the blocks are the guys that are going to get it anyway.
Oh, man.
Historically.
The dudes like in our tour 2008, and there was the block positions that got into desktop first. And we were inside, we lick up this compound, and then we hear, contact at whatever position. It's like, oh shit, CSOR boys are into it. And by the time we get out and it's the desktop's pretty much wrapped up. And like, I can tell you, man, like, I remember that like it was yesterday. I was like, I'm so fucking glad those are our guys, like, and not A&A or an AMP, like and I let those guys know too, man. Like, thank you. Thank you. That's important. But everyone's got a job to do. And I think, a little bit of healthy competition is good. There's nothing wrong with that.
100%.
But at the end of the day, just clarify and identifying, listen, man, just be really good at this. And you guys take care of that. It would solidify, or at least minimize probably the friction. That sometimes exists.
Yeah, when the kids are scrapping, dad's got to come down and say, stop fucking around.
Stop it. Yeah.
Just stop it.
And I guess when, there's a legitimate conflict at hand that we're both part of, everyone has a purpose, and there's less of that griping bullshit. But when it's quiet, it's like, hey, we got nothing better to do. Let's gripe with each other. It's like,
sure,
man, let's find some better energies to put our.
What's funny is that, like, with the guys of the South, you almost never see any of that stuff going on.
It's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, when you see the Rangers show up and the Rangers are supporting Delta, it's absolute.
Yeah,
it's absolute. And when I talk to those guys, it's like it is like I by no means want this to be that kind of relationship, but they're almost like worshiping, the CAG guys or the Delta guys. So it's like.
But I think there is an element of professional respect.
Yes,
between those organizations, and that's what I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And when you see those guys, they're as professional and as good as their craft as anybody else.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
Like one of those guys made an engagement with Machine Gun on a job, and it was. I watched that burst, man, and it was like a beaten zone, exactly perfect, and like half a belt.
Yeah.
Half a belt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Surgical with that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. So with your time, I just want to back up just a little bit. So with your time at CSOR, did you have any interactions with either Green Berets or with the Rangers? Like, did you guys do any joint collaborations together?
So Green Berets, I would like maybe, like the first Special Service Force dinner and stuff. There was one in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Did some of that. When I was in Kabul, there was an ODA. And this part sucks because like we were no longer holding a combat role in Afghanistan. Okay. So we were at Camp Moorhead training the locals up. And
what year was this?
2013, 2014.
Oh, okay, yeah. So now the drawdown has happened. Yeah. And you guys are in the kind of the last boots before
basically,
came out. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, there's like a team of Hill guys in Kabul doing other things.
Yeah.
And this ODA was like up the hill from us. And of course they're like, they're going out for like 2 weeks at a time. 2-week rotation. So they go out for like a week, come back, rest, go out for another week. Yeah. They're spent a lot of time out, a ton of time. And they're using like a civilian pattern Chinook, which is pretty cool. It's like a giant red striped Chinook. Yeah, it was contracted Chinook. It was kind of cool.
And what was the reason for that? Did they say?
I don't know. I think maybe they just didn't have like enough Chinooks in theater,
really,
possibly, or something, and they needed the capacity, so they contracted it out. Maybe, who knows? Yeah, but yeah, seeing those guys go out all the time, that was terrible. That was like a 2IC of the team too, and it's like, yeah, this sucks, man. Watching those guys go out, they're getting in dust ups all the time, like. We know we got to know their medic and their EOD guy pretty good, and like their PJ medic, he got his bell rung like seriously bad. Just got like smacked with an RPG. He was on the safe side of a wall. RPG hit the other side and just concussed the hell out of him. Okay. And so like he went into Kabul, I think he said he spent 5 days in a room with no lights on.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Wait, this is like they're doing the wrong thing. With TBI at the time, right? They're not treating it. They're still trying to figure it out. We're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. It's come a long way, but
there's nothing perfect for it yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, watching those guys go out, that was tough. Like not being able to get into it. But
yeah, fair. And so, what was your guys' role for that point? Like you were providing training for the ANA, the AMP.
Yes, ANASF. Yeah. So their SF school.
Right.
So I was like we mimicked an ODA at the time. So we were holding like 1-8 functions, so like a 1-8 Alpha, 1-8 Bravo, Charlie.
Gotcha.
I was a Charlie, which is an engineer function. So I was like running the engineer school there.
Yep.
And it didn't take me long to see that like there was 2 contracted American like conventional engineers. These guys had like 25 years as combat engineers.
Wow.
I had like 3 years.
Right.
And I was like, man, like these guys are they know like the
years ahead.
The time fuse calculations by memory.
Right.
And I got to look it up. Like these guys go forth and do good things. I'll do something different.
Right.
So
I
created a library. Like actually that's what I did. Yeah. Because it was like the drawdown was happening and it was like these guys have no information to draw off of.
Right.
They don't have a PAM.
Right.
There's no PAM.
Right.
Like people are teaching them lessons.
Right. But
they're giving them the PAM reference in the lesson.
Textbook for them to walk away.
There's no reference. There's no actual reference for them to read and in their language. Like they, you know what I mean? So you can clearly see that the things were not set in place for them to carry on what they were doing.
Right.
It would only be corporate knowledge.
Right.
There's no references.
So you took it upon yourself to give them something, and you were working with a translator to
basically. I think the moment I left, it got squashed. But basically, what I wanted was like a room where instructors could go reference a PAM, reference something, whether it be the Ranger Handbook or something, and just go in there with a computer and be able to translate it, just translate the things that they need out of it, and then be able to go and conduct a lesson.
Okay.
Because the hands and feet of their lessons were good. They kind of had that.
Right.
The S functions were really fucked up, but like the junior officers and stuff, they were doing nothing. Like, oh man, they drank a lot of tea, a lot of chai.
So when you guys wrap that piece up and now you leave, you go back to Canada. Yeah. What was the feeling like? Was it like, okay, you're probably not coming back to Afghanistan, or you left it in a better place? Or did you feel fulfilled, or did you feel empty?
I think at that point I was like, that was just another job.
Oh, okay.
At that point I was just like,
on to the next thing.
On to the next thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right on. Then you come back, you get yourself set up for JTF2, things work out. And then how many years did you spend at JTF2 before you finally retired?
8
years? Good,
8, 9, yeah.
So 5 years at CSOR,
yeah.
6 years with the engineers?
3
years.
Yeah.
3 years. And then, so you retired, what year did you retire from the Canadian Forces? It wasn't that long ago?
That would have been September last year, so September 2024.
Right on, man. Good stuff. Good. So how was your overall experience with JTF2 before you left?
Yeah, I think, man, when you want to talk about like the show, like whatever your field of expertise is, if you're a musician, then, you get a song on 88.5. Maybe that's it for you. You know what I mean? Like for a hockey player, it's making the show.
Yep.
That's the best.
Yep.
JTF2 is the show.
Right.
It's the fucking show.
Right.
Is it perfect?
No, nothing is. Nothing is. Yeah.
Nothing is. Is there things to improve?
Of course.
Hell yeah.
Yes, there is.
Are you working with like the best people that the Canadian Armed Forces has to offer? Yeah, you are. And that's the thing that after leaving, you're just never going to get that again. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The other side of that is that we're retired now and we don't really have the pressures of, performing at that level.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we just play and have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's talk about that. What I don't think some people may appreciate, and nor should they, or would they, is the pressure. Let me ask you something. Do you feel like when you're at the unit, constantly in a state of selection?
Right.
Consistently knowing you've got to, which is good, but you've got to perform. You got to bring your A game every single day.
Yeah.
Because the guy to your left and to your right is bringing it every single day. Which is good because it encourages us to want to level up and continue to improve.
Yep.
But there's a consequence to that.
Yep.
And that consequence is the race car analogy.
Mm-hmm.
That race car, a Formula One vehicle, high performing vehicle, right? Very capable.
Yeah.
And it's in the red. It's in the red. And then what happens after a race? It gets stripped down.
Yeah. Engine
gets torn apart. It gets rebuilt and it's in recovery mode.
Yeah.
I feel, looking back at it, there isn't a lot of space for recovery.
0. Yeah.
Now, with that, my follow-up question, I guess, to you is if you could do anything differently, based on your experience and what you went through with engineers, into CSOR, now finishing off your career with JTF2, looking back at it, within what's controllable, is there anything you would do differently?
Right. I think I was able to monitor myself pretty good before I got into CSOR and JTF2. So like the reference with like the oil fields, like I saw that writing on the wall before it happened.
Yeah.
When I got back from 108, saw that. I was like, I was tactically more patient, coincidentally. which is funny because it should be in verse.
Right.
But the thing I would have done, looking back, the biggest thing was I should have benched myself in 2017 after I had that concussion in the fight room.
Right.
I did not bench myself, and I should have. I was fucked.
What happened?
I was training for the fight camp.
Yep.
Which is our like Christmas bonanza.
Yeah.
SOAC fight night,
which is awesome.
Which is awesome, and I wanted to get back in there.
Yes, and it is a cultural staple that I feel should stay for sure. A long, long time. But walk us through what happened. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sparring with one of the new assaulters, and all those kids, they're all grown men. They're all heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Baby didn't understand how to spar. I left my hands down. Whatever. Got a little bit of a conky, and I left camp training, and I came back the next day. I shouldn't have come back. I was like, I think I'm okay. Should have taken a knee right there, and then been like, hey, I got a head injury. Just chill the fuck out.
Right.
I didn't. I came back. Got another hook in the exact same spot on the right side of my head, and I think whatever you want to call it, compound concussion.
I remember it.
Yeah,
I remember it. Yeah.
And I never recovered fully. And I took a knee, but then I drove home to the East Coast to Fredericton.
Yeah.
So like, man, your brain is at like quarter power, eighth power.
Yeah.
Like none of that. So it's like, imagine yourself on your most exhausting day of your life.
Yeah.
Times 10.
Yeah.
And like, you're not even understanding how tired your mind really is. And you push yourself into that hyper arousal state, and you're not recognizing it. You're just in a fight state. What I should have did was just stayed home and took cold showers.
Right.
And just went on vacation. Just chilled.
Yep.
But instead, I kept to the schedule. I kept pushing.
Yeah.
Kept pushing because
that's what we do.
Yeah, we're working dogs.
Yeah.
We go to work.
That's it.
Right. Yeah. So, came back. This is at Christmas leave, so I had 2 weeks off.
Right.
3 weeks off, and when I got back, I was still fucked.
Still.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. That first one, 2017. It was like 3 years of like constantly in and out of.
Oh, I didn't know.
Post concussion syndrome.
I knew you were concussed because obviously I was heavily involved with.
Yeah.
Heavily involved with the training and whatnot at that time, but I didn't know it lingered that long.
No, yeah, and so what would happen is I would just get in the kill house and I would just make it worse.
Yep.
And I would throw a DD, or I would clack off a door charge.
Yep.
And maybe like nobody else is feeling it, but like my brain's bruised.
Yep.
Like massively bruised. I should have been on a 6-month. See you later. Right down there.
Right.
But I think that might be one of the systemic problems with how our system works. It's the big boys rules. But when you have a brain injury, it's like you're not a big boy anymore.
No.
Yeah. The sergeant major's got to be like, sit down, shut up, stop moving.
Or you need one of the bros to step in and be like, man, you're not functioning the same, man.
Yeah.
There's something going on. You know, and a bro needs to step in and be like, hey, I think you need to take a knee, man. And it's all good. You get yourself right and come back. I think we have an onus as an individual to say that. It's tough for us to do that because we don't want to be the one to put our hand up and say we need to take a knee. But I do think the team that we're working with, they know us best. And if there's something that's outside the norm of how Justin or Randy would be behaving, and that's a red flag and needs to be adjusted.
I found I can't help but 100% agree. I think the problem with that is that like, what, 90% of the guys are in the same state.
Yeah, you think so?
Maybe not quite as bad as that, but I remember after that I was very cautious. I knew that my time was limited,
right? And
so I was pretty cautious. The guys in the squadron would know that, like, if there was a live hit, not going on it. If there was somebody's doing exterior charges, I'm in the truck.
Right.
If somebody's, and until it got to a point where like, all right, I'm done. And I remember that live hit, and guys came back from the live hit the next day, and the guys are like, man, it was fucking crazy, man. There was like ceiling tiles flying everywhere. It was like charges going off left, right, and center. And I'm like looking at all the eyes, and they're just pure glass. They're all pure glass. Like they're all concussed.
Yeah.
So you got to change the modality of training. Like,
yeah, we also too need to, and I think the guys are probably doing a lot better now.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, I remember doing, you know, when you get a live site, guys are excited. You build charges for a week leading up to this because, you know, getting those sites were few and far between. So you'd want to make the best of it.
Yeah.
And man, one interior door charge after another. And, you know, if the standoff safety distance was whatever, 3 meters, we'd be at 3 meters. Why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Like, let's push it back. It's training, man. Let's go 7 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then you get overseas in Iraq and it's like, you're not allowed to use explosives. Right.
Right. So,
It's like, oh man, we pushed the envelope so hard for all this. And it's like,
I do see value in pushing the envelope once in a while. It's important to do that. So, you know, what you're capable of and what that is going to feel like in an experience, but man, not consistently. Yeah. It's not.
I don't know who it was, but one of the guys said, I think it was maybe a guy from 2 Squadron. He was talking about they did some joint training in Israel, and they blew a charge off, and they stood around. They didn't do anything, and our guys are like, "What are you guys doing? Like, aren't you ready? Let's go. Like, I squeezed. Let's go.
Yeah.
No. We let the dust settle first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's different modality. No, we're not running to our death. I mean, if you're piecing the pie and you're overseas, let the dust settle. We got all
context
day.
Drives it. Context drives why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and all that, and the other residual effects as well. Like, it's funny. I share the story with guys, and they're like, "What? No, that's not possible." When I was with the PPCLI, we would do hours of live fire section attacks, no eye protection, no hearing protection, hours.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you go to your tent or whatever and lay down for the night. That's all you would hear. That's all you hear. And then we get up in the morning and we would do it again.
It's like January. Hear those mosquitoes?
and then, you know, fast forward, we did better, obviously, with the personal protection and stuff, but all that shit, because we get those garbage sites, you know, and boom, and then you'd be breathing all of that shit in, all of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, man, what cause and effect, you know, based on, you know, high volumes of exposure to that stuff, it has an effect. So now we'll bring it back to the first portion of our discussion when we're chatting. You're trying to have a baby.
Right.
So knowing the information that you have now with everything that you've been exposed to, the direct correlation, do you believe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Which and what? No idea.
Yeah, exactly. What?
No idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the $54 question.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you were to, you know, if you use the insurance company, Veterans Affairs Canada, they would say like who, what, and where, and where is it written down?
Right.
You know, what CF98 is it filed under?
Right.
So it's like, so now they are to go down that road. The onus is on me to try to prove that.
Right.
And it's like, years and years and years of environmental exposure has an effect on your overall well-being.
Yes.
Fact, your sperm reflects your overall health. Like that's one of like the primary indicators of how healthy you actually are.
Right.
Like as a whole being, like, your blood might look great.
Sure.
Your heart might look great. Your VO2 max might be
off the charts.
Yeah. But like overall,
right.
Like this is a funny anecdote. I've had a lot of people come to me in the last little bit and say I look a lot younger than I did. Like, and I wonder, you know, just like you get out of the stack, you get out of the environment, you get out of the stress, the adrenaline dumps, like your age is going to reverse a bit.
So you're a little bit younger than you were. Do you feel younger?
No, not at all.
How old are you?
40.
40 on the button. Yeah, good for you. Right on. Yeah, I'm almost 50. And I feel like
dude, I don't know how the fuck you do it.
I feel like I'm 25 most days, but I tell you, the days that I don't feel young, I feel it, man. I feel it, yeah. And I can usually tell what kind of day it's going to be by the first set of stairs that I walk down. Yeah. And sometimes, and I'm being as serious as a heart attack. Yeah. Sometimes I feel it in my joints, and I'm like, that's going to be a slow getting going, like an old diesel truck. Yeah. But sometimes I feel in my head. Right. Yeah. Sometimes I feel in my head, and just like I walk down the stairs, and everything's kind of in a bit of a fog, or I feel like I'm floating a little bit. Yeah. And it depends on what I did the day before. So I recognize it, and I love sparring. I love being on the mat training, but I'm very cautious, man. If I spar on a Wednesday, for example, I don't really feel myself until probably Friday or Saturday. Yeah. Which sucks, man, because I know it's just the fact that as we get older, we recover slower. But I bring this back to your experience. You start recognizing some things are changing with your body, and at what point do you make the determination and you start having that conversation with your wife or with yourself internally? It's time to go. Yeah. What was it?
Okay. So for me, it was a feeling. I knew that when I got to a certain feeling, and when I say feeling, it's like symptoms, a certain amount of symptoms from a certain amount of exposure, and I wouldn't really be able to dictate it. But I had this conversation with my wife, and of course she was like super supportive. Obviously, she's like, "Oh, great, you're going to be home more." And now she realizes that was a really big mistake.
Don't you have somewhere to be?
Yeah, could you do something? Like you're pacing around the house. But yeah, I got tasked to teach basic CQB, and in the first 3 days, I was feeling symptomatic, and that's not true. I was feeling symptomatic on the first day. But on the second day, it got worse. And on the third day, it got worse. And I knew that I was never making 6 weeks.
Good.
After 3 days.
Good.
Yeah. And there's been no charges yet. Only carbine and 1 bangers and 6 bangers. Yeah. Or 9 bangers.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like after that, I went to my sergeant major and was like, it's time. Put me on the pyre. Push me out to sea.
That had been a tough conversation.
It was, but it's like when the first time you ask for help, it's a big weight.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that feeling is long since gone. But yeah, I remember being like, okay, yeah, like it's time to focus on other things.
Yeah.
No, when I went to the surveillance squadron, it changed pretty fucking fast, but.
Did you like your time with doing the AFO stuff?
I like certain parts of it.
Yeah.
But
that's not why you wanted to be there. You're a warrior. You're a fighter.
So what I'm about to get into will explain exactly why I didn't like it there. Because and I understand that there's a need and a requirement.
Of course, and it is a skill, and it deserves a amount of respect.
It deserves its own selection.
It does.
Right.
Because I agree. It's for a very specific personality. And those guys that do it and crush it, man, my hat's off to you. It's not easy.
Yeah. My problem with it is that there's a lot of incentive there to practice tradecraft.
Yes.
And when I say tradecraft, it's like manipulation, being disingenuous, telling you a fucking lie.
Sure.
Whatever it is. And I came from a place where I just never thought we would need to.
Yep.
I understand that there was a need for that with like a threshold in the chain of command.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because we need to protect them from certain things.
Sure.
We understand that like when we put something forward, we want to put our best face forward. That's every professional entity on planet Earth. In this place, it was like, well, now it's tradecrafts being used on me and the people around me. And I could see it, and I don't know that it was intentional. I have no idea. I don't really care. The point is that like, that's different than how I want to live my life. So the surveillance, the follows, the going places and doing stuff, like I did some really cool surveillance stuff on McMurray Mountain. Very innovative stuff too. Like that I was a little disappointed that the innovation was like not seen as innovation, but it was seen as just like a risk. It's like too risky.
Really?
Yeah. And
Interesting.
And I wasn't happy about that because it was very cool what we did. It was very cool. The guy that, you know, put the package together, he should have been written up. He should have, you know, he should have got a little pat in the bum, little Bravo Zulu or some shit. Like,
Sure,
something.
Attaboy?
Yeah. Attaboy, get like, he put that whole thing together and made it happen. You know, I like kind of float him in the direction. But
Well, it's a team effort.
It was a team effort. Yeah.
It's a team effort, and it takes intellectual thought with a purpose and a forward projection of what it is that we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And then assessing, there's some risk associated to it. Of course, everything that's worthwhile and worth doing has an associated risk. But understanding that we're not cowboys, we're not going to do stupid shit. We're going to make calculations and use some critical thought and put the best foot forward.
Or at least ask some questions that would help mitigate that risk. Just don't say that, like, we can't do this because, you know, one time a guy died on a cell phone tower and now we can't do it.
Right.
It's
exactly. And it's funny. We just had a great conversation earlier today, and we talked exactly about this, man. It's like, man, be willing to take some risk. First, like, when we think of inclusion in the team, right? Be open and humble that if you, me, and, you know, these two plate carriers are human beings, there's four brains that will, between the four of us, will come up with 90% solution. Yeah. So be open to the fact that Justin might have that golden nugget, or Ding Dong or Toho might have but be humble enough to just pitch it and say, okay, what do you think? Right. First. Second is be respectful to all ideas. Right. Because any idea, although it may seem like completely out to left field, might be the most optimal solution. Yep. And then, man,
like this solution is repeatable across planet Earth.
Agreed. And
this solution was like from a business perspective, it's scalable.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you could scale this thing and make surveillance anywhere and everywhere. Like in like a. It needs some refining, obviously, but everything did. But it was the first rendition of it.
And be okay with the first time. It might not.
Yeah, and it didn't. It didn't work the first time. You had to go back out there like 4 or 5 times to make it work. Like,
learn from it, make some adjustments. And interesting is I find this is a common theme of conversation with a lot of different organizations that I have the opportunity to interact with. Be okay with taking some risks.
Yeah, change is hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah.
But overall experience, pretty good.
Yeah, I think at my time in the, like I was sick when I went to the surveillance squadron. I was hanging on. I got through like one op there, and then when I got back, now it was like, I'm like, my brain health is getting better.
Right.
But now it's like some other burnout and some PTSD and some other shit that's going on.
Right.
Some maybe some undiagnosed stuff or things I didn't even think of. And and it's all culminating in the middle of COVID.
Oh, buddy.
Right.
Lovely.
So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And so it's just it was a perfect storm. It was the perfect storm. Yeah. And again, it was hard. It was really hard. And I was trying to find a place for me to go in the unit for the dust to settle.
Right.
And I ended up going to the range cell.
Right.
Which I loved.
Which is awesome.
Which is so good.
For guys that don't know, like when you're part of ranges, you're those guys are awesome. They're responsible for helping facilitate, like as realistic training facilities and structures for the guys to train. And the work that they do behind the scenes is awesome. So hats off to the range guys. So you went there for a bit.
Yeah, I was there for almost 2 years. Yeah. And when I started there, the boss there was like, it was almost more soft than the squadrons.
Oh, yeah?
In a sense, where it was just like a bit more Montessori, a bit more free, a bit more, if you're having a bad day, just stay home.
Okay.
It's all good.
Okay.
Like I was on half days when I went back there. I took a few months off and then I come back, went to ranges.
Yeah.
And I was still on half days. But I was enjoying my time there so much that I would stay for the full day, even though I didn't have to.
Right.
It's just in the wood shop, just fucking around.
Building doors, whatever.
Yeah. Built doors. I built like a fabric dispensing rack for the riggers, the parachute guys, just a bunch of stuff like that. And it got me out of my own mind and into thinking.
And it gave you purpose. Good for you.
Yeah.
Right on. And that's where you finished the last year and a half? 2 years?
Yeah. And and it gave me a very interesting perspective on just the assaulter community in its whole. And some of it's positive, some of it's negative, but it was just, I got to see from the outside as like a supporter or as an enabler, a specialist, still being able to, put my foot down or tell somebody they're fucking not smart. Don't do that, because again, it's like, there's that hierarchy there. And if an assaulter comes down to support her, they don't always have the assertiveness to be able to like, that's a bad idea. I don't think you should do that. You know what I mean? That just does not exist.
Right.
In that area. And for good reason, you know what I mean? Like,
I do. Yep.
Yeah. And so when I was there, it was like, I'd always be kind of like listening to asks from other guys in the unit. And it was just like, no, man, you can't. I don't think that you should build that innovative thing, because like when the time comes, you're going to lose the intellectual property on that. And this has happened in this unit before with the solo site.
Yeah.
So just don't do that. Like you're going to create this thing, this solution to this problem, and it's going to be worth millions of dollars, because they're going to take this and they're just going to give it to the lowest bidder and they're going to manufacture it, even though it's your idea.
Interesting.
So that's a problem, where it's like, well, of course, guys within the unit should create solutions,
of course,
but they shouldn't do it to their own detriment.
Interesting.
I know that you're not supposed to be there to make money or whatever, but the point is that if you want somebody to manufacture a product, you got to go to a company to do that.
Interesting. So did you, like, when you talk about the positive sides of being at Rangers, right? Like, so you had some flexibility in your schedule. You got to work, with the assaulters, and and you're still,
I'm still value added,
right?
It's still value added.
Yeah, so very much so, because you came from, so you understand what the guys are asking. Yeah. You already conceptually, what it is that they're looking for. So it can kind of speed up basically the ask to the end product. That's cool. Right on.
And like, assaulters not generally good communicators. You know what I mean? Like,
do you feel like it helped you? Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
And you're already, of the background, you like using your hands. You're, obviously a very crafty guy. So you do a lot of this stuff on your own anyway. Yeah. So it was kind of, for you, it was like, man, this is fulfilling a gap. Yeah. For you.
It made a very potential bitter ending into a sweet ending.
Something positive. Yeah. Good, man. That's awesome. So when, how did the exit work out for you? So I don't know about you, but for my experience, just to give you context, I gave the unit 8 months. I said, I'm leaving in 8 months. Here's my release. That conversation was tough when I wrote the memo and submitted it. It was like, I remember going into work that day and taking a couple of really big deep breaths, thinking, is this the right decision? Is it the right time? Yeah. I already had lots of conversations with my wife and whatnot. In my head, the decision was already made, but there was something I was hung up on, man. It was the actual walking through the office of my sergeant major, and then later on having the exit interview with the RSM. It was tough. It was tough. How was it for you?
It was as good as it could have been, I think. Yeah. Had out of other squadrons, it was a bit of a, like a bit of a rocky leaving, and this happens often, where it just like, maybe you just don't get a mug out, that happens often. And then when I left the surveillance squadron, it was like, the wrong guy mugged me out. Okay. Yeah. The wrong guy mugged me out. Okay. Like, I had lots of great friends in that squadron. And this is what I'm talking about with the manipulation thing. It's just like, somebody's trying to control the narrative here. There's no need for that.
Gotcha.
Just say goodbye, man. Just like,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But when I left Ranges, it was perfect. It was great. It was, you know, just like a small group of guys who had a few beers, went to my own place and got smashed. And,
right on.
And that was it. I had like another retirement party where, and this is very strategic, where I like actually invited anybody that was like a key leader or like a deck commander at 2AC, and then like my like core guys, my key guys.
Right on.
And that was great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Then, and yeah, I didn't want to, you know, however anybody ever leaves JTF2, there's mixed feelings, you know. We got like the Dallas Alexander kind of way to leave, and anywhere in between them, and mine was okay. It was good, you know. Like I can't say it was perfect, but it was pretty good. Yeah, I think that the best thing that I did was like going to Ranges and letting the dust settle, and that was like the best thing that I could have done. At that point, the decision was kind of already made,
right? And
I was planning my exit from that point on,
right?
Like Kings Creek construction, that was in the making. I think I had already incorporated it at that time, you know. So it was something to focus on that was up and out.
Right. Good for you.
Yeah,
that's probably a healthy way to do it.
Yeah,
I think, you know, it's my opinion, but guys choose to go to the unit. They don't have to do it. They choose to do it, and they give everything. And the sacrifice, the sweat, the missed birthdays, they give a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, you could compare it to any professional industry. You know, well, there's sacrifices made by your local mechanic. Yep, every single day.
Yeah,
every single day. It's very comparable.
Yeah.
What makes it different is the risk that's associated to everything that we do at the unit has an inherent risk to your health, to your mental state, to your well-being.
Yeah.
And that's real. And the emotions that are attached to that, I don't think gets the respect that it deserves. And where I'm going with this is, guys choose to go to that organization. I believe the organization owes it to that guy to give him a legitimate handshake, a pat on the back, and say, hey, thank you, man, for everything that you did. No matter what the personality conflict might be,
right? He
chose to go there. He chose to give it an amount, like amount of his flesh.
Yeah. I think my perspective on that is that if you're an assaulter, you've gone through the crux. You know, you've gone through the crucible.
Yes.
And even that alone deserves a pretty big mountain of respect.
I agree.
Whatever happens past that, you know, like win or lose, sometimes it goes good, sometimes it goes bad.
Sure.
Sometimes people change, and maybe they should sunset themselves and go off to do other things, but they don't.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're...
Each circumstance is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But one consistent that's the same is a guy chose to be there, and he gave everything.
At the beginning.
Yeah. He gave
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's no other way to get through that process unless you just give 100% of everything.
Yeah.
What do I say? It is a commitment of self-destruction. It's a commitment of self-destruction.
Yeah.
You know that win or lose at the end of this, you're not going to be better off. You're not going to be better off.
You don't think so?
Overall, sure, but like, man, I'm 40. My back hurts. Like we're
broken.
We're fucking broken.
But fuck, man, I wouldn't change it, man.
No, of course not. Because that's because the sacrifice is worth it.
Yeah.
The sacrifice is worth it.
Yeah. Like I try real hard, man, like not the bitch and complain about the fucking aches and pains and stuff because I'm like, fuck, I got to do that.
Yeah. Yep.
I got to do it. Now, will the next fucking 20 years of my life be fueled by Motrin and fucking whiskey, you know, probably. But man, like I get emotional because I'm like, fuck yeah, like I'm fucked up, broken, and I got scars mentally and physically because of what I chose to do.
Yeah.
And nobody can take it from me.
Yeah.
Guys can cast shade from just, you didn't do anything. You know what? No, I never shot anybody in the face. Fuck, I tried, man.
Me too. I never shot anybody either, man.
And I wanted to, don't get me wrong.
Fucking tried hard.
But all those emotions to every operation that I've done, like you can't take that, man. That's mine.
Yeah.
You know? And if you could give any advice to, say, a 5-year assaulter. So he's at the unit now. He's got exposure. He's been through the gauntlet a little bit. 5 years, what would you tell him? If he wants a projected, if he really wants to entertain projected longevity in the unit, what advice would you give a 5-year veteran at JTF2?
Well, I think first off, we got to kind of compare apples to apples. And like, let's say like you're in my career, like I came from CSOR. Before that, I was an engineer. So I reset myself a number of times.
Right.
If the progression is optimal and a guy comes in and he doesn't have a lot of exposure, number one, the community has to start tracking the exposure before they get into the unit, like, and understand that, like,
what's the entry baseline?
Yeah. Exactly. So this guy might already have his bell rung or have like a full load of trauma before he got there.
Right.
And the reason why he got there is because he liked it. Right. If he's it's all situation dependent, and it's all like, if you're feeling symptoms and the juice is worth the squeeze, then go for the squeeze. I wouldn't change many of the things that I've done. Now, that one thing, did I have to fight in the Christmas fight?
Gotcha.
No, I didn't fucking need to do that.
Right.
And so I really changed my mentality even before that, because I was beginning to feel symptoms. Is like, if you don't need to, then don't do it.
Right. Yep.
If you don't need that qual, just stick to the standard quals. And if you want to train door charges or you want to train wall charges, just go 25. Just go 5. Don't just set off the initiation set.
Right.
You don't have to see the full meal deal every time. You got to experience it a couple times for sure.
Yep.
But you don't got to eat charges every day.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
And there needs to be a schedule. Yeah, that big live site, with real doors in an old hospital, what have you.
Yeah, shitty old derelict building that's going to come down.
It's got to come down. Like, go train that, but write that date down and don't do it again for 6 months.
Yeah, that's good. Oh man, that's legit. Yeah, have a data bank of a journal or log or something. Yeah, that's why
it's all 2IC shit too, right? The 2IC has really got to start tracking that stuff, and that's got to get driven from the sergeant major. Sergeant major got to come down and be like, we need to data collect. Like, we need to collect all this stuff.
Fair. Yeah, that's good. I got 2 other questions before we can wrap it up, unless of course there's anything you want to chat about. But 2, let's talk about Kings Creek Construction. So you incorporated a business, as you're thinking about your next bound, the next chapter of your life, which is good. I commend you for that, man. Well done. Tell us a little bit. What is it? What's Kings Creek? Holy Creek Construction.
Yeah, the whiskey doesn't let you.
Yeah, I blame you.
Yeah, so Kings Creek Construction is a residential custom home building corporation, and we primarily focus on ICF, insulated concrete forms, which essentially is it's like a 10-inch wide block. There's 6 inches of concrete in the middle, and then there's 2 inches of foam on both sides. So it creates your structure, it creates your insulation and your air barrier all in the same process. And then obviously you get a concrete house, which is obviously better.
Is it true that concrete only gets harder with time? So it's more solid through time? Yeah,
that's so the optimal time for concrete is 28 days. You're going to get your that is the metric for judging your strength.
Okay.
So you get like a 5,000 PSI concrete, that's at the 28 days. Right. And so there's like a little bit of nuance with timing. You don't want to pour your walls today and then backfill tomorrow.
Right.
Or put a bunch of weight around it. You want that wall to gather up a bit of strength over time.
Right.
But yeah, that is true.
Okay, cool. So with the insulation built in, that will obviously improve both the heating side, but also the cooling side.
Yep.
And that would be the foundation to, build the host on. So that's what you guys do.
That's right.
Oh man, that's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, we're also doing other things. I mean, like a couple of years ago, like I built yourself some breaching doors and stuff.
Amazing. Did a great job, by the way.
Yeah. that was a lot of fun. That was a great day.
Yeah.
It was a ton of fun. But yeah, Kings Creek Construction. Yeah, we're taking jobs for next summer. I've got a couple lined up already.
Good.
And I'm in no rush. This is something to keep my mind busy, something to keep my body moving, something I want to build a team. I want to build, something, generational wealth for my kids,
good for you.
Something that is going to last forever.
Yeah, good for you. And I was out at your place when I think you just had poured the concrete.
Right.
That was a couple of years ago now. And man, pretty cool. Like, earlier in the chat, I was talking about your intelligence, and I'm not pumping your tires because you're sitting right in front of me. But what people don't know about you, when you walked the ground with me and you showed me what you had already built and where you showed me I remember we were hanging out there for a couple hours. You showed me the blueprints to your house. And I was like, who's helping you with this? And without even skipping a beat, you're like, I'm building this myself. I'm like, what do you mean? So you built your house with your own hands.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
And you're living in it now. It's all erected. Everything's good.
Yeah, it's fully erect.
Right.
Yeah, there's some punch list stuff to get finished.
Sure.
Yeah. Of course, I'm working on the signing right now. And of course, like, working in the middle of December, things are going to go a little bit slower.
Sure.
But I mean, that's the other part of that is I just like love working outside.
Yeah.
And the harder the days are, the more I seem to enjoy like that final sunset, that like that long ass day, and you're watching the sunset, and it's like, okay, like earlier today, none of this existed. And now it all exists and it looks good and it's square, plumb, and true. And it feels good. It looks good.
Yeah.
Whereas, maybe you could tell me how you feel about this. Because over, how long is it? You're like 22?
21 years.
21 years. Yeah. And it's like, in my career, I can only think about like 5 times where I was actually either tactically, operationally, strategically tangible.
Yes.
Whereas like now, I'm like almost operationally tangible every day, or I get to create or watch this thing grow.
Yes.
And it's so fulfilling, and that's the thing that I'm loving about this business. That it's fucking hard.
Yeah. And
nobody wants to do it.
Yeah.
I can't find a 18-year-old to come and work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
The guy that wants to work real hard outside in the weather, they're really hard to find.
Few and far between, man.
Few and far between.
Soft as baby shit. Lots of those folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll tell you about my 18-year-old neurodivergent kid. He's got some severe ADD, but man, I like this kid. He shows up every day and he makes me laugh because he's like every little nuance, every little quirk he's got. I'm like, oh man, I did that before.
Yeah. I love it.
And it's like, now I get to coach this guy and like hone those things because he notices everything.
Right.
An airplane flies by and he stops and he stares at it. And I'm like, stop looking at that airplane. What is that airplane doing right? You know it's an airplane by the sound of it. Carry on, man. Like, stop it.
Right. Right on.
Right.
So is this young lad working for you?
Yeah, he's working for me. Yeah.
Amazing. That's all. How big is your team right now? How many guys do you have working with you?
So I've got the kid.
Yeah.
He's 18, and I just hired another carpenter.
Cool.
So I'm hoping I've got like, low, mid, and then myself.
Yeah.
So this is really going to set me up so that I can run the business.
Good for you.
Because that's the biggest. They call it the craftsman trap.
Yes.
Where it's like you got your hands constantly on the tools, you can't run the business.
Yep.
You got to get behind the computer.
Yep.
And do some of that stuff.
Yeah, and then that'll probably be another learning transition where you're less on the tools, more on the the computer, and making the next bound.
Yeah.
And then trying to find that sweet spot where you've created and mentored that next guy that you can trust, that is going to do it as good as you, if not better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a struggle, but you kind of need it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, we've been fighting something.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck it is, we've always been fighting something.
And I won't stop. I don't know.
The neighbor or
I won't stop, man. Yeah. I find something to
fuck with
every day. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Yeah. Good for you, man. Well, buddy, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know for sure, man. This conversation will fall in the ears of a few listeners and inspire them, hopefully, motivate them. I have another question. One last question. If you were to give any advice to a 20-year-old, or let's say any advice to your 20-year-old self, and they have aspirations to go CSOR, JTF2, CGI, anywhere, but they want to do great things, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, it's fail forward. Because give yourself the best preparation you can and do it.
Let's go for it.
Just do it.
Right
there's nothing to fear but failure.
Good.
No, that's not right.
Nothing fear.
Nothing to fear.
Nothing to fear. I mean, if we don't try, you'll never know.
That's right.
If you're unsuccessful, you'll learn something from the experience. You'll learn something about yourself, and then you can always reevaluate.
There's only one thing to fear, and that's fear itself.
There you go.
That's the line.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right on. Awesome, buddy. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, man. It's always a pleasure. And we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.